Good morning. Here we are on day 9. This is a very, very important day. And we are going to go straight into it because I've already had difficulty with the recording, so with the internet, and I don't want to miss anything today. So we will start, as always, with thanksgiving, praise, and worship. We thank you, Father, because you are good. You are awesome. And we praise you because you deserve the praise. And when we praise you, we feel you. It's not like you're not here, you're always here. But we feel your presence and we worship you because you are worthy of all honor, praise, blessing, power, and honor. And we bow before you and we remember and we nourish that part of us that needs to hear it, that needs watering today, that I am merciful, compassionate, slow to anger, abounding in loving kindness and truth, keeping loving kindness to 1,000, and forgiving iniquity, trespass, and sin. Thank you for that image in us that is yours. I wanted to share with you this this is an entry talking about being vulnerable and real here with you of my, I can't get this thing out. There you go. Of my own, and this is, as you can see up here, it has 51, 52, and 53 cycle. So this had been a while, obviously, that I've been doing this. And as you can see, I mentioned it to you before, I'm working on this cycle, on that 50s cycle. I decided that whole week from 1 to 7, 51, 52, 53, up to 57, work on as being a minister of reconciliation. And that 51 goes on the top because that's the third time that I'll be doing that cycle. After this one, that one is gone. This 52 goes up, the 53 goes up, and I will be doing 54. So just that you have an idea of how this works in the long run, right? So I was doing in 51, I have enter his rest, and 52, be light and salt. In 53, which is the one I was in that moment, that was April 6th. Yom Sheni is the second day of the week. And I was working on abounding in Chesed. Chesed is loving kindness. And that was my day 170. Every time I go to Israel and come back, I start counting again how long I've been away from the land. So that was 170 days, and it was the 12th day of Nisan. So as you can see, I have here this toxic thought of irritability or harshness, cruelty, etc. And it's wobbly, loose, and weak branches of, and you can see all, I put rudeness in the middle of this blob is the bad one. So I want it ugly. Of irritability, cruelty. I just looked up everything that went with rudeness. Rudeness. I don't even can read in my own writing. Aloofness, harsh, short, unkind, impatient. All of that are dissolving in a sea of chemicals and electromagnetic energy in my brain, because this is what I want to grow. Chesed. Be sympathetic, be compassionate, be kind, be loving, be tenderness, consideration toward others, humane. So that is the tree I was working on that time. And I wrote here so that you would have it, if you can't read my handwriting, sometimes I can't even read it myself. I wanted you to have this. Today, the toxic thought off, and whatever your toxic thought is for this cycle, along with its unstable, weak, and wavering branches. That means They just go in one way or another. They're not stable. And that's who we want to be. We want to be oaks of righteousness. Is dissolving. The toxic thought with all the little branches is dissolving in a surge of chemicals. These are all the neurotransmitters that our good thought is producing. That's why I put purple around it. Is divine. This purple is getting rid of this blackness in me, and electromagnetic energy within my brain, because everything has a charge. We are energy. Everything has a charge. If I put if you go into an MRI and you're dead, it will show nothing. There is nothing to show. There is no energy in that body. But if you do have energy, it will show the picture that is, that equipment was created to show, to portray. Then we are stabilizing our new healthy thought and continue to dissolve the toxic thought. So this is a process. It is not gone yet. We're still working on it. And how do we do that? By day 2, here we are, is Bet. The second letter of the Hebrew alphabet is the house, is the building. So we know that on day 2, we're separating the upper waters from the lower waters, and we are putting together all the things that we do want to continue to build with and getting rid of the things that we don't. So in this chapter 2, verse 9 of Ephesians that we're working on says, not a result of works, so no one may boast. So we talked about yesterday that it was by grace that we've been saved, not by my own doing. It was God's grace towards us that he saved us. So, and he does that so that we can say, oh, of course that person will be saved because, that person is so this, that, and the other, and I am just not any of those. So yeah, I guess I don't get to be saved. That human thinking does not enter our Father's thinking. We're all his children. He wants to save us all. So nobody can boast. And I like that. So we're starting with that. That's the premise of our working in this soulish area of our body in this second week. And I put different areas that we're going to use. These are tools. These are not this is not it in itself. These are tools that I'm using with what I'm working. So let's say I'm using that I just showed you. I'm working on Hesed and I'm trying to be less rude, less harsh, less beastly like. So more of this and less of this flesh, right? So then I use those things and I think of today being the second day, being I'm building the house, I'm separating, I look at what I'm working on and I don't need that. I need this. I don't need that. I need this. And from those 2 drawings, I pick what I want, discard what I don't. So you can even do that orally, verbally. You can say, I choose being patient instead of irritable. I choose to be kind instead of hard, or being present and mindful of others instead of being aloof. I don't care. I can use that and work at that. That's a way of exercising this. We are building, we are working, we're tearing down, we're, cleaning out, lifting up, that is part of a construction, right? We're making our ark. This is the place where I want to be safe from whatever happens in this world. And I want my family, friends, and also that I love everybody that I can get into that ark with me and make it pleasant for everyone. And then the second spirit, I always put those things in bold so you can track with me in that. The spirit of understanding is the second spirit in Isaiah 11 that talks about the spirit of God is wisdom, understanding. Understanding is the second one, and we need that. We need that to know what to do with the upper waters, the lower, the heavenly concepts, the earthly concepts, so that help us to discern with clarity what aligns with you, your will, and for my life, and what must be cast aside. Give me the wisdom to keep only what strengthens the house, ark, this dwelling place. We are the temple of the living God. We are building, that you're building within us. He's creating this in all of us. Remember, how do I know that? Because he gave very specific instructions how to do the tabernacle, his dwelling place. He gave very specific instructions to Noah how to build that ark. So he doesn't leave it like, okay, you do it however you want and make it, make it nice. No, he knows that this brain of ours, if it's not working, all three of them together, I feel safe, I feel loved, can connect it. Therefore, I can go in that superposition. Day 9 is a very important superposition day because you're looking at that blob outside of you. You are seeing that my father did not make that rudeness in me. I made that. My environment made that. My epigenetics did that. My father wanted me to be and made me to be like him, merciful, compassionate, slow to anger, abounding in loving kindness and truth. He made me loving kind. Therefore, that is not, oh, please, Father, give me that. I want to be that. No, it's like, yes, Father, I agree with you. Thank you that you made me that. That is how we work this process, because this brain doesn't know. It's a computer. You tell it what to do. And when we do this, oh, please, and I don't know, and I may be, and one day, the brain doesn't know what to do that. You tell your computer, you may go there, the computer doesn't move. You say go, and the computer goes. Stop, and the computer stops. It's just that simple. Okay. But we have to know that, and we have to start working on that. If I'm, iffy about everything, my father isn't. So I have to learn to be like my father and stop being the iffy person that I became. So nobody comes out of their mother's womb iffy. People come out of the mother's womb, wah, I'm here in this world, feed me, I'm cold. It's just like we want what we need. And we don't say, well, if you feel like feeding me, would you please feed me? No, the baby is hungry and wah, just cries. So that we need to go back to that certainty that we know, and we are confident in what we know. That's why we're building this, because sometimes we're not confident because we don't know. So we're building our knowing, right? Okay. So then we go into that other tool, that other skill that our Father has given us, helping us build this the way he knows we will succeed. So of course he created the universe. The universe still works perfectly well out there. We humans are the ones that mess up everything, but the sun comes out every day. The sun goes down every day, and the weather goes according to what he wants it to be. So that means that what he has put in place is working perfectly fine for good and evil, for bad people and good people. It does it every day. So we need to learn to say, okay, you know better. I'm going to go by your parameters. I'm going to use your tools to build this house. And the second one he gives us is the Feast of Unleavened Bread. That's the second, his feast, not mine, not the Jews, God's feast. And in that you commanded us to remove the leaven, which is symbolic of sin, from our homes. This cyclical practice reminds us to destroy anything that opposes the knowledge of our Father, and to remain vigilant in guarding the garden of our hearts. So we are purposeful in that regard, using that tool today to work on the building the house. Then we also use another tool that he has given us, that is, there are two kinds of wisdom: the wisdom from above, his, and the wisdom from below, earthly, mine. I don't want mine. I messed up enough, and I have proofs of that in many, many things I've done wrong. So I choose to use his wisdom to build my house. And that one, the second attribute of it is peaceful. So in this separation, in this division, I choose to be peaceful about it, not warlike, not feisty, not my way or else. It's assertiveness. Assertiveness means your desire, your goals, your thinking, whatever you are, is as important as me. Therefore, we're on the same level. I respect you, you respect me. I don't go above you and be aggressive. I don't go below you and be passive. I don't stay up and down, passive aggressive. I see you eye to eye, face to face. I respect you. And if I don't agree with you, we agree to disagree. I respect your opinion, you respect my opinion, and we can live happily ever after that way, right? So that is important, peaceable. We're not trying to hurt anyone in this process. And this can be challenged, especially when it involves others and when we are overly critical of others and ourselves. Sometimes we're our worst critic, and we do that. We're not peaceful towards ourselves. And as ministers of reconciliation, we're reminded that our role is to separate for the purpose of gathering and edification, to build up and to strengthen. So in this day where we are working on the pillar of thought, which is interpersonal, then we are using that interaction with others. Day two is not like day one. It was more introspective and into myself, thinking, how do I work this? Now today and day two, I go out of myself and interact with others. And for that, the character, the moral character that I'm trying to build on that day where I'm interacting with others is justice and discipline. Being assertive, that's being just with whoever I'm interacting with, and being disciplined in doing this. This is something I have to do every time. It's not a one-time deal. I wish it was. And I'm able to grow this pillar of thought, which is necessary to interact with others as we bounce ideas off other people, having constructive criticism. We dialogue, we say, I would do it this way. What do you think? I would do it this way. Let me think about that. That may work for me, or that, I don't know. I don't think it's going to work for me, but I'm glad that it worked for you. And we listen to others. There is wisdom in the multitude of counselors. Listen to other people's input, engage it, and say, I'll try it. Never done that way. Didn't even think that far. So we all see our lives and events from different perspectives. So it's good to do that, because that helps us be more compassionate towards others. And we practice listening without interrupting others. I'm giving you here some skills that you can use: spending quality time with others, playing games, the if game with yourself and others. I should put quotes there so it's not what if games. Then take time to coach or mentor others where you excel. You have some expertise in some area, use it. Use it for others. Invest in the edification, that's day two, of other people's arcs, other people's houses. That is part of growing in that pillar of thought. And we're also working on deception versus truth. So in order for us to continue to be discerning in what to use in the in our building of our ark, it is essential to discern that and to build our proper dwelling. The only way to achieve that is by knowing the truth so well that we cannot be easily deceived. So that is why in the treasury here, in the house treasury here, they teach forever and ever first what the real bill is. They don't go into, this is a counterfeit, and they'll do this, and they'll put this ink, and they'll put this paper, and they'll do this thickness, and they don't go into all that until you know the real bill so well that even with your eyes closed, you can touch it. You know the exact thickness of it. You know this right feel to it. You can see all the things that were put in there for it to be the true paper that needs to be for the currency that we use here, et cetera, et cetera. So that's the same thing with the Word of God. We know it so well that when somebody says, oh, no, God didn't say that. Oh, yes, he did. He did. He said, don't eat from that. So it's not like, let me think. Let me go back to my notes. Let's see if he did say that or not. So, it's not what I think, is not what I remember, is what he said. That's why it's so important to know the word. So I hope you stay in it, that today is a day that you can truly look into those things that you're working on and continue to choose the right path, continue to work at least 7 times, whatever you decide to work as your practice, as your training, as your Musar practice, is the training of that moral character so that that tree grows strong and dissolves by itself. It dissolves any toxicity around it. Have a great day and see you tomorrow.